Welcome to this session to help you when having difficult cancer-related conversations. In this session, we'll have a look at how communication is key and how you can deal with the situation sensitively. We'll also focus on the respect for privacy and how we make reasonable adjustments. We'll look at the guidelines and policies relating to this topic and also how to signpost your employee to financial support. We'll also consider carers' rights and finally a return to work plan. When an employee has cancer or is caring for someone with cancer, they will need your support. They may be dealing with medical, emotional and financial issues. The following tips will help you to support your employee through diagnosis, treatment and living with cancer. Cancer affects many people who work. More than 112,000 people of working age are diagnosed with cancer in the UK each year. There are currently 750,000 people of working age living with a cancer diagnosis. Many will continue to work after or even through their treatment. The current estimates are that 327 people of working age are diagnosed with cancer every day. It's not only employees living with cancer who are affected. Employees who are carers may also need to change how or when they work. A carer is someone who provides unpaid support to someone who could not manage without this help. Macmillan estimates that there are 700,000 employees caring for someone with cancer in the UK. But employees can make a huge difference to the working lives of people affected by cancer. This can often be done by making reasonable adjustments to the workplace or working patterns. More than 2/3 of organisations that make these adjustments consider them to be easy to manage. Communication is key. People with cancer often feel out of touch with work during their absence. It's important to keep appropriate contact with your employee during periods of sick leave. This contact could be through you as their line manager or a nominated buddy. It's important to handle communication carefully. Your employee should still feel valued, but not pressured to come back too soon. You should listen to your employee to gain an understanding of their situation. If possible, discuss arrangements for keeping in touch with your colleague before their absence. Ask them if they want to receive newsletters and key emails. Do they want to hear from colleagues, and if so, how can they get in touch and how often? You should check if there's a good time to get in touch and take time to agree on how and when you will keep in touch with each other. Cancer treatment may make it difficult for your employee to be in contact at certain times, and this may only become clear after treatment has started. If you have agreed to call at a certain time on a certain day, you should keep that arrangement, as your colleague may have made the effort to be able to take the call. When communicating, it's fine to ask questions when they are sharing information with you. And remember to review these plans, as their situation and how they want to be contacted may change over time. It's important to remain sensitive to your employees' needs. Every person has a different cancer experience, and cancer treatments and the physical and emotional effects of cancer will be different for each person. What is best for one employee may not suit another. You should make time to understand your employee's individual needs. For example, your employee may not want any contact. Explore their reasons and reassure them that you just want to be supportive. It may be simply because of how they're feeling at that point in time. You can ask them about it later, when they might find the idea of contact from work less daunting. We need to have a respect for the employee's right to privacy. Your employee may not want other people in the organisation to know that they have cancer, or even that they're caring for someone with cancer. If they do want colleagues to know, ask them how and when they would prefer people to be told. Employers can't give out this information without the consent of the person with cancer. The Human Rights Act 1998 and GDPR from 2018 protect a person's right to have personal information kept private. Both acts cover the whole of the UK. Personal information includes medical information. An employer doesn't have the automatic right to access an employee's medical information, but an employer may ask their employees' permission to get a medical report on their health from their doctor or other health professional. The employee has the right to see this report if they ask to, before it's given to the employer. Employers should take care to protect personal records, including emails and any meeting notes containing details about a person's condition. This is sensitive, personal data and should be treated as such. Let's have a look at making adjustments. Cancer is legally defined as a disability. In line with equality laws, you may need to make changes to the workplace or working arrangements that allow your employee to continue to work. These changes are called reasonable adjustments. Employers have a legal duty to make reasonable adjustments to the workplace and working practices for an employee who has cancer. This duty applies when the workplace or working practices mean the person with cancer is at a substantial disadvantage because they have cancer. This disadvantage has to be more than minor or trivial according to the Equality Act. These reasonable adjustments could include allowing time off for medical appointments, offering flexible working hours, or organising a phased return to work. Your employee should be fully consulted and involved in the adjustment process at every stage. It is usually in both of your interests to work together to make the adjustments, as they will allow the person to continue working. Contact HR for general advice. If you need specialist advice, occupational health can be contacted. There are guidelines and policies designed to support your employee and will help you to manage the situation. These include guidance about sickness absence, for example, giving employees time off to attend appointments and for rehabilitation. Dealing with long-term conditions, for example, mobility issues. This could include access to the building using a wheelchair or crutches. A car parking space closer to the entrance might be helpful, or you could change where they work, for example by moving them to the ground floor if they find it difficult to climb the stairs. Other guidance covers time off work, for example allowing time off for medical appointments, offering flexible working hours, organising a phased return to work, or for occupational health referrals. Financial support will be important to the employee. We can offer sick pay and other benefits. You should contact HR to have a look at the individual contract. A cancer diagnosis could mean that your employee needs to make changes to their job, and this could be changes in working hours, a resignation, or taking early retirement. Before they make these changes, they should seek expert advice. Macmillan offer a service and offer financial guides and benefits advisors who can be contacted on 0808 808 0000, or you could visit macmillan.org.uk/moneyworries. Changes to their job can cause a loss of income, a change in the pension they were entitled to, and payouts from insurance policies, including life, mortgage, income protection and critical illness cover. a change in the state benefits they're entitled to, and this can be a big source of new income for people affected by cancer, and your employee might not think to apply for these. The choices someone makes about their employment can affect what financial help they're entitled to. It will also impact their finances in the future. So before formally agreeing to any changes, make sure your employee has had expert advice about what might happen. Macmillan run a support line which offers lots of financial advice, including welfare rights advisors, helping people to apply for benefits and other welfare support, and have financial guides to help with personal finances such as insurance, pensions, mortgages and tax. If an employee is caring for someone who has cancer, they may need your support, and they do have rights in the workplace. These rights include taking time off to care for a loved one in an emergency. Carers don't need to be in their job for a certain amount of time before they can take time off for dependents. How much they can take depends on the circumstances. For example, an employer might look at what has happened, how close the person's relationship is to the dependent, and whether someone else could help instead. For someone to use this type of time off, they must tell their employer as soon as possible after the emergency has happened. Time off for dependents is usually unpaid. Time off for dependents doesn't apply if the person wants to take planned time off. If this is the case, for example, if the employee wants to accompany their dependent to an appointment, you would need to consult HR in this situation. Flexible working could make it easier for carers to keep working, and any employee has the right to request flexible working. Other rights at work include the Equality Act, which protects carers from direct discrimination, harassment and victimisation. Returning to work. If your employee is off work, keep in touch. When they are ready, talk with them about a return to work plan. This will help find out what further support they might need before, during and after treatment. The plan should be reviewed regularly, as cancer can be unpredictable, and so changes may need to be made along the way. Have a meeting before they're due to return to work. This gives them the chance to visit the workplace, hear important updates and raise any concerns. This will allow you to find out how they're feeling and sort out any potential problems before they happen. A return to work plan may involve a phased return to work or gradually handing over work. This form of reasonable adjustment will support their well-being and could be agreed with the employee to take on lighter duties or use holidays to shorten their working week. A phased return to work can allow your employee to return to work sooner. It can also allow them to settle back in at a pace that suits both of you. If the employee is terminally ill, it may still be possible for them to work, and so we should support them to work for as long as they want. This depends on medical advice and any health and safety concerns. If the employee gets gradually weaker, this can become difficult to manage. So in this case, occupational health will be able to help. If the employee dies, you will need to tell the colleagues in the organisation, and depending on the job role, you may need to tell clients, customers and suppliers. You should also assist the family. Ideally, one person should be the point of contact, so either the line manager or someone in HR. Pay, pensions and other benefits will be sorted out as quickly as possible. Depending on the family's wishes, you may need to let other colleagues know the funeral arrangements. When it comes to returning belongings to the family and arranging for return of equipment, this should be done sensitively. We need to be aware and recognise the impact on the team. so we should be aware of the impact that cancer can have on the rest of the colleagues and on you if you are a line manager. If you need more support, you can ask your own manager or speak to the HR department. Alternatively, you can use the EAP or the Employee Assistance Programme. Macmillan are also available to help, and they can be contacted to help everybody affected by cancer, including family, friends, carers and employers. If you or your employees have questions about cancer, you can call the support line for free on 0808 808 0000, or you can visit macmillan.org.uk/work for more resources and advice. Thank you for watching this session on having difficult cancer-related conversations.